We'd been together 7 years when, the night before the wedding, Chase informed me that my gown was being lent to his assistant. Mia's mother is critical, days, maybe hours. The only thing she wants is to see her daughter find a safe harbor, so I promised her. He stopped, waiting for my reaction. Turned out it wasn't only the dress. My groom and my entire wedding were on loan too. How entertaining. Seeing the mockery on my face, impatience flashed across his brow. It's just a show for her mom. When it's over we'll still get married, won't miss Market Open. Don't always be so. Sure. I cut him off, agreeable. Head down, I thumbed a reply. You win. Bring the gown you ordered tomorrow and come get me. He answered in a second. Your call, you're honoring the bet. Don't claim fraud later. I could picture the exact grin and tone he wore while typing. A laugh escaped. Chase's anxious voice buzzed in my ear. You really said yes? You're not mad. Why are you laughing? I looked up, puzzled. Expected me to be angry? If you knew it would, why do it? A flicker of guilt crossed his face. I was surprised. You've never liked Mia, figured you'd refuse. I laughed softly. This routine had played out too many times. On my birthday, Chase reserved my favorite steakhouse a month ahead. The server who brought our plates. Mia. He seized her wrist, demanding why she hadn't come to him if she needed help. I watched them tug of war right in front of me, him torn between anger and pity, her eyes red. Work itself is draining and you're moonlighting? Can't you take better care of yourself? Sorry, Mr. Sterling, I didn't know you'd be here. You've helped so much, I can't keep leaning on you. What nonsense. You're my staff, of course I protect you. If you'd run into some thug instead of me, what then? Not until I stood and shut the private room door behind me did they snap back to reality. Later he doubled her salary and forbade any side gigs. Then came our 7th anniversary. I'd booked flights, the hotel, even scored sold-out park passes through every connection I had. Halfway to JFK, one call from Mia scrubbed the itinerary. His explanation never varied. She's had it rough. Outside the hospital that day I erupted in the car. Is her hardship my fault? Why does she always outrank me? Who's your girlfriend, anyway? The look he gave was pure stranger. Serena, when did you become like this? You used to be so kind. I shoved the door open and walked out. That night Mia's mom met Chase, and the flawless care he showered on her daughter. Inside that ward ever after, Chase was Mia's boyfriend. And tomorrow he will become her groom. I surfaced from memory, said nothing, and began packing an overnight bag. Watching me, Chase looked vindicated. See? Knew the Saint Act couldn't last. Pre-wedding walk-off to strong-arm me? Bad math. I keep promises. Mia gets what I promised. There was even a lilt of satisfaction in his tone. I couldn't be bothered decoding it. Think bigger. Tomorrow the groom fetches me. Tonight I sleep at my parents' like any bride. Without another glance I wheeled my case outside. Serena! His hand clamped my wrist, too tight. I frowned. Relax at your folks. I'll be there on the dot tomorrow, don't worry. I studied the man I'd dated since college. Sometime along the way his eyes had filled with shadows I couldn't read, panic, guilt, spurts of cocky triumph. No longer mattered. Tomorrow he marries his bride, I marry mine. He bent to kiss me, I pivoted away. Late. I'm going home. I'll deliver the gown to Mia and, while I'm at it, give you a ride. His voice carried a smug little hook. He waited for me, as usual, to pounce on the phrase while I'm at it. I didn't bother turning. My answer floated back on the wind, no need. Dad's driver is here. The instant I spoke a Rolls-Royce coasted to the curb. The chauffeur opened the rear door. Miss, Madam's soup is waiting. Chase's silhouette stiffened. Lying in my childhood bedroom, I opened Instagram. There, tagged for the world, was the gown I'd sketched, sourced, and hand-beaded. Tomorrow I marry you. The dress is gorgeous. I adore it. Thanks for always having my back. Let's spend our lives together. Mia wore my gown in Eastbrook's penthouse suite, snapping photos in a mirror bright as a spotlight. A sliver of suit fabric crept into frame. Only Chase had commented, "Looking forward to your care too." Mia replied with a bashful emoji. Smiling thinly, I typed, "Happy wedding." Seconds later, a voice text arrived from Chase. "Mia's just giving her mom something to see, no malice, so quit the sarcasm." Mia DM'd me, "Serena, don't be mad. After tomorrow I'll return the dress unharmed, every bead safe." I answered, "Keep it." Then I powered down, ready to sleep. A sudden tap 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 came at my window. A decade-old memory flooded back. I slid the sash up. The face outside meshed with the boy I once knew. "What are you doing here?" Julian's grin was pure trouble, visiting my bride. The 7-year marathon had been supposed to end with me marrying Chase. But his antics had grown so obvious even outsiders could read the balance sheet. The asset called loyalty had been written down to zero. I'd stalled, and as the date approached, Julian tried everything to stop me. At last he'd bet me, if the ceremony goes off without a single stunt, I'll back off and give him another chance. "The second you get screwed, though, you marry me," just to spite him. I'd agreed, half last warning to Chase, half razor to cut myself free. Julian broke the silence, jittery. "You chickening out? Say the word and I'm gone, no hard feelings. But if that jerk keeps walking all over you and you just take it, I swear I'll be the first to slap some sense into you." I answered him through the window pane. "No take-backs. I'm marrying you tomorrow." The words hung there for a second, startling both of us. We'd said the same thing dozens of times when we were kids. If he hadn't left for college overseas, our families probably would have pushed us into a merger-style engagement long ago. "Serena, sleep tight. Tomorrow, sit pretty and wait for me. Good night." I slept like the dead and dreamed a flood of dreams. Scholarship heartthrob chasing Riverdale's golden heiress, this is nuclear-level juicy. "Serena, I'll work until I deserve you. Serena, the day my company goes public, marry me, okay? Vance XIAOWAN." I turn my back for 2 minutes and someone spirits you away? That guy screams performative empathy. Don't fall for it. Once he's powerful enough, he'll trade up, watch me be right. Serena, don't get the wrong idea. I was just exhausted from taking care of my mom and crashed in the CEO's lounge last night. Serena, the CEO is worn out too, you should baby him more instead of catfighting with me. It's tacky. Look, time to drop the heiress tantrums. Not everyone was born with a silver spoon, try walking a mile in normal shoes. I got here on grit. Your dad's cash was just an investment, win-win. Don't paint me as some kept man. When I woke, my phone showed 99 Instagram notifications. Mia's latest post had detonated, likes and comments pouring in, mostly from Sterling Digital employees in Chase's circle. "Rowan! Guess we'll be calling you co-owner Mia, take care of us little guys. Sis, look after Chase, he's a workaholic who needs someone to notice when he's hungry." Exactly. He's already stretched thin, don't let him waste energy on pointless drama. My ringtone cut through the noise. "Serena, you holding up?" Tiffany was a scholarship kid my mom sponsored. She worked at Sterling Digital. "I'm fine." "What's wrong?" Her voice crackled with fury. "It's disgusting. Last night Chase had ed the whole company, ordering everyone to like and comment on Mia's post. HR even DM'd stragglers telling them to jump on it the second they woke up. They're grinding your face into the pavement. So that's how he played it. I soothed her, voice low. "Don't worry, I've got this. Ever think of jumping ship? Sterling might be in for choppy waters." Tiffany gasped, then whispered, "I copy that, resignation letter coming up." After I showered and headed downstairs, Dad was at the table reading the journal. He glanced up when he heard me. Old enough to know better yet still impulsive? If Julian hadn't tipped me off, I'd have wired Sterling's Series C this morning. I raised you to absorb punches? I draped an arm around his shoulders and cooed, I need to grow up. Some battles I have to fight myself, not send my parents in first. Mom set down my latte with a matching scowl. Your father's right. Swapping grooms without a board meeting, lucky it's Julian. If it were some random, how would we clean it up? I stuck out my tongue and obediently sipped. You absolutely sure? Dad pressed. His stock just listed, big deals inked. If I pull the round now, it won't kill Sterling, but it'll slit an artery. You won't come crying later. I couldn't blame him for double-checking. Once Sterling's revenue started climbing, Chase announced he no longer needed Vance capital. Cue a cash flow cliff and a fast track to Chapter 11. I'd come home at 2 a.m., begging Dad to reinsure the company. He'd wired the rescue, and Chase's thank you had tasted more of salt than sugar. I set the cup down with a soft clink. Dad. The levity slid off my face. I'm sure. From this moment, Chase is dead to me and to this family. Approval flickered in Dad's eyes, Mom's brows puckered. What about Julian? Are you marrying him to punish Chase? I won't let my daughter weaponize her wedding vows. I hesitated. Marrying Julian wasn't pure impulse. Love might still be on layaway, but we could earn it post-wedding. Most important, I already knew he fit. Relax, Mom. I know what I'm doing. Chase's ceremony with Mia had started, held in Eastbrook's biggest ballroom, the decor I'd personally negotiated with the planner for a solid month. I watched the live stream, Mia's smile bloomed like spring, zero trace of the terminally ill mother narrative. An idea flashed, I speed-dialed a number. When the call ended, the feed showed Chase kissing. She knew exactly how much this wedding meant to Mia. The officiant's voice ran through the cues beside her ear, and he and Mia began their vows. His thoughts tangled, last night's image of Serena walking away flashed through his mind again. Panic struck without warning and he misread the vows 3 times. Once he even called the bride Serena. At last the reception ended and, checking his watch, Chase figured he still had time to race to the Vance estate and pick her up. Mia caught his arm. Mr. Sterling, my mom got a little emotional. She's not stable right now. Could you stay with me a bit longer? Chase looked at the girl on the verge of tears. They had come this far, he couldn't let it all fall apart. The memory of that kiss, the one that had momentarily bewitched him, made him nod before he could stop himself. Mia thanked him shyly, rose on tiptoe, and packed his lips. When he finally remembered to call and tell Serena not to worry, only 5 minutes remained until market open. The earpiece delivered an icy recorded voice, number unreachable. Serena had blocked him. Chase bolted for the door and saw Serena, radiant in a wedding gown, being helped out of a Rolls-Royce. Serena! She flicked a glance his way, calm and glass-smooth, then slipped her hand through the arm of the man beside her and smiled up at him. Julian spotted Chase as well. The bodyguards he'd planted seized him fast. Serena! I came to get you, I'm here. You can't marry him. Pathetic. Arm in arm, he and Serena walked into the ballroom. Midway, Julian leaned to her ear, lips curled in a smile that never reached his eyes. If you even think of pulling a walk-off stunt, I'll broadcast every embarrassing thing you did as a kid and leave you mortified. Chase watched, eyes bloodshot. How could she marry someone else on what should have been their day? Vance and Hale relatives streamed in, seeing Chase in a white tux and boutonniere. Pinned by bodyguards, they whispered non-stop. What's going on? Isn't Serena marrying Julian? Why is there another groom? You didn't hear? CEO Sterling married his assistant today and now wants to wreck Serena's wedding. How vicious can a man get? Marry within your tier, always. Serena and her parents treated him like gold, yet he lent her wedding gown to his assistant and married the girl. Talk about sick. Lend a wedding gown? Get an exorcist and stay away from Serena. He's a listed company CEO and still borrows gowns? Beyond tacky. The comments turned Chase's face green then white. No, today Serena and I are supposed to marry. The thing with Mia isn't real. Julian stole her. Someone who knew the inside story snorted, "Spare us. The only reason Serena put up with you this long is kindness. Everyone's seen you two playing footsie, lipstick on your headrest, earrings on the carpet. Don't insult us by pretending you didn't know, you were flat out bullying her with obedience drills." Chase opened his mouth several times but couldn't find a gap. He knew they were telling the truth. He had wanted to pressure Serena, make her more compliant. But he had never crossed any line with Mia. Mia glided over in her gown and stood beside him, indignant for the crowd. "Don't sling mud, Mr. Sterling and I are innocent. He was only helping me," and Serena agreed. "If she chose to marry someone else, that's her idea, I don't know why. In short, Mr. Sterling did nothing wrong." Her voice peaked at the end, as though the crowd were bullying her. "Sweetie, I've seen manipulators of your level before. At least take off the gown that isn't yours before you lie. The man's worthless anyway, go ahead, keep him, but those diamonds on the skirt are real. Even if the dress can't be reused, it's not going to a side piece for free." Mia flushed crimson and looked at Chase for rescue. He stood frozen, brain looping one line, "Serena is marrying someone else, Julian, the guy who despised him and had known her since kindergarten." Panic and rage collided inside him. Serena had played him, pretending to agree while plotting to wed another. When the onlookers had had their fill and filed inside, only Mia, the two bodyguards, and he remained at the entrance. Mia's eyes darted. She soothed him softly. "Don't be mad. I think Serena is only staging this to punish you. She loves you, how could she bear to marry another? Don't interfere, once she vents, she'll come back." The words settled his chaotic heart a little. Right, Serena loved him, she'd never once suggested breaking up. This sudden twist had Julian's fingerprints all over it. If Julian and Serena were ever going to happen, it would have happened long before he entered the picture. The guy was just a prop in her revenge act, no match for him. So he'd married Mia, and she'd married Julian, call it even. Classic heiress tantrum, she couldn't stomach the smallest loss. Still, the thought that she and Julian might merely be putting on a show did nothing to cool his anger. After today he would teach her a lesson, she couldn't fool around with something as serious as a wedding. They'd worked so hard to reach this point, she mustn't derail it all over a fit of jealousy. His arrangement with Mia was legitimate, hers with Julian was not. Julian stepped out. He smirked at Chase. "Let me guess, you think Serena's marrying me just to spite you?" Chase's face supplied the answer. "TCH. I hate letting trash spoil a perfect day, but you might as well watch closely. Behave, or else." He flicked a signal, the guards half-pushed Chase into the hall. Only then did Chase truly look at Serena on the dais, breathtaking. The gown she wore outshone even the one she'd sketched herself, framing her like starlight. The man who should be standing there was him. A sharp ache spread through Chase's chest. He would consult the astrologers again, choose an even luckier market open. He would throw her a ceremony grander than this one. Then came the vow exchange, usually just boilerplate. Yet in Serena's eyes Chase saw nothing but steel resolve. Each syllable of that soft, honeyed voice was a needle in his heart. Fine, he and Mia were stuck in the same trap, he would just endure it. The vows were barely finished when the guests began to chant, "Kiss! Kiss!" Chase's face darkened. These people had zero sense of boundaries. His Serena, how could she kiss another man? No problem, he told himself, Serena would dodge it. He knew her, but the next second froze him in place. Julian tipped Serena's chin up and kissed her, slow and deliberate. She didn't turn away, she even closed her eyes and sank into it. Julian nipped her lower lip, murmured something. She swatted at him in mock annoyance, then smiled. Chase's pupils shook, his lungs felt ready to detonate. How could this happen? The certainty he'd worn like armor cracked. She really was done with him. The bodyguard felt his lurch and clamped harder on his arm. Chase had no idea how he survived the rest of the ceremony. When he finally walked out of the hotel, hollow-eyed, his phone rang. "Chase, bad news. Ms. Vance just announced she's pulling the round, 3 partners already want out. You have to come back. Pulling the round? The mega projects he just closed all depended on Vance's money. If they stalled and he missed delivery, the penalty clauses would bury him. Only then did it sink in. Serena didn't merely want him gone, her entire family had axed him. Back at the office, messages stormed in. The day's freefall still hadn't ended, and he couldn't pinpoint when Serena had decided to detonate it. He needed answers, but cash flow came first. He filed emergency loan requests with every bank. If the credit landed, he could breathe. Mia slipped behind his chair and set her fingertips on his temples. Relax, you'll fix this. Serena's so petty, taking it out on your company? After all you've slogged. Chase snapped his eyes open and flung her hand away. What happens between her and me is ours. You don't get a vote. Mia's lip trembled, wounded. I'm just worried. I'm panicking too, but I believe in you, this is only a hiccup. Chase shut his lids again, her pep talk was white noise. Her horizons were postage stamp narrow, an investor yanked, cash dried up, pipelines froze, and years of graft could collapse. A hiccup? She understood nothing. He had zero wish to explain. He flicked his wrist. Out. Mia pivoted, hope fizzing, when he added, wait. She spun back, smile blooming, then wilting. Get Serena's wedding gown back. Now. Resentment flashed across Mia's eyes. She banked on Serena's pride-sparking tantrums that would repel Chase forever, turning her own sham marriage into the real thing. Instead, Serena had coolly swapped grooms, leaving Chase shell-shocked and her plan in tatters. When she went to collect the dress, her mother pounced. Well? Did Chase dump that Vance brat? When's he marrying you? Lock it down fast, if he backpedals later, a divorce still gets you half. Mia, already at boiling point, snarled, stop scheming. He's desperate to win Serena back, he only wants the gown returned. Rings and certificates are not happening. Mrs. Cameron gaped. Useless girl. I faked tubes and paperwork for months. A shriek cut her off. The diamonds on this dress, gone. Did you pry them out? Put them back. Her mother flinched, then blustered, don't accuse me. Maybe they scraped off in the car. One look at the woman's face confirmed it. Mia hissed, hand them over, maybe I can still look halfway responsible. Her mother jutted her chin. Already fenced them. In the end, Mia bought fake rocks and glued them on. When Chase inspected the gown, he only stared through it, seeing nothing. She exhaled in secret relief. I was curled on the couch streaming a movie while Julian fed me bite-sized fruit. Sterling circling the drain. Feeling vindicated yet? The plot had me hooked. Who? He smiled, indulgent. No one. You devoured the fruit, I didn't even taste. He tilted my chin and sealed my mouth with a cool, lingering kiss that lasted until I was breathless. Forehead to forehead, his eyes glowed like city lights. Julian, why are you this good? He'd been good to her since sandbox days. Only noticing now? Could be worse, you could be totally clueless. So unromantic. I shoved him and hit play, only to be tucked against his chest, his breath at my ear. Silly girl, I told you, I'll always write the puts on your disasters. Chase rang from every number, I blocked them all. I didn't expect him to camp outside the penthouse. Serena, I deserve an explanation. Half a month had ravaged him, stubble, hollow cheeks, zero polish. 7 years, and you humiliate me like this? When did you and him even start? His righteous anger was hilarious. Oh, you remember 7 years? Every time you parked Mia in front of me, did it occur to you I wouldn't wait forever? His eyes sparked. You're jealous of her? She's fired today, nothing ever happened. Her mom was there, I only helped. Believe me, Serena, I never betrayed you. I cut in. Doesn't matter. Everyone told me to cut losses long ago. I gave you chances on chances. You caught none. Julian and I had a bet, I said. If our wedding went off without a hitch, he'd stay out of the way. If I lost the bet, the wedding would still happen, only the groom would be him. Chase's eyes were wide with disbelief. I went on. You're the one who made me lose. You were the one who personally stamped out the 7 years between us. The man in front of me froze, sorrow and despair so dense they almost took on weight. He still refused to accept it. Do you love him? Have you slept with him? I looked at the shadow spilling around the corner and smiled without thinking. Of course. I really like him, I honestly want to be with him. I said yes because he's him, not to spite you or get revenge. He's a good man, I won't use him as a weapon, especially not against someone like you. You're not worth it. Chase's breath hitched, the light in his eyes cracked like shattered glass. Julian strolled out then, draping an arm over my shoulder like he owned the world. What, trying to bully my wife while I'm gone? Looks like my dear father-in-law still hasn't driven you into chapter, too soft-hearted, if you ask me. Wife. Father-in-law. The words stabbed Chase like shards of ice. He glared at Julian, hatred seething. You've been scheming for Serena all along, haven't you? You filthy opportunist. Julian spread his hands, owning it. Yep, I've wanted her since we were kids, problem with that? As for opportunity, you created the void, you know exactly how. Instead of calling me names, go audit your precious assistant and the gutter tricks she's been pulling. With your IQ, you should stay out of business, buddy. I burst out laughing, his tongue was still razor sharp. He pinched my cheek. All you do is giggle. Learn from me, when you meet trash, talk trash. My fault, really, I didn't teach you earlier, left you suffering for years. Yes, 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 I'll take you as my master, okay? Just promise to teach me well. Class starts tonight. I'll show you what hands-on tutoring means. Watching us, Chase's eyes went blood red. How ironic, once he and Mia had flaunted the same easy intimacy in front of me while insisting they were just friends. Serena, you really don't want me anymore? I couldn't be bothered to answer, I turned and walked inside. Julian clicked his tongue, annoyance thick. Still at it? Guys, escort him out. He's banned from setting foot here again. The moment Chase realized the crystals on the wedding gown were glass, the report he'd ordered landed on his desk. Mia and her mother had been acting all along. They'd played him for a fool and cost him Serena. He fired Mia on the spot and demanded she repay every cent for the fake diamonds. Mia's mother had already burned through half the cash, new condo, handouts to distant relatives, then vanished the instant debt collectors knocked, leaving her daughter to clean up the mess. No matter how Mia begged, Chase stayed unmoved. He was convinced her scheming had wrecked any chance of salvaging things with Serena. Worse, he'd lost Victor's backing, his company was circling the drain. Partners were pulling out, share price plummeting, banks freezing credit lines. For the first time in years, Chase tasted utter despair. He searched frantically and finally cornered me, apology trembling on his lips. I'm sorry, Serena, so damn sorry. I never should have used Mia to hurt you or taken you for granted. I was duped, but if you'll just give me one more chance. I rubbed my swelling belly while I waited for Julian to finish paying the hospital bill. Duped? Don't pawn your mistakes off on others. Mia's lies were paper thin. 10 minutes of fact-checking would have shredded them. You chose to swallow them whole. Don't play victim, it's pathetic. He fled. Within weeks, Sterling Digital, once the darling of the tech scene, was headline news for entering chapter. Falling from the clouds hurts far more than never flying at all, because you remember the view from the top. Losing the woman he loved and the empire he'd built broke him. Memories he'd edited now replayed in merciless clarity. Serena, born into privilege yet without a trace of entitlement. Serena, protecting his pride, buffering him from her parents' sharp edges. Serena, bankrolling his earliest, cash-strapped days, cheering every small win. Everyone used to say landing her was karma paying out in advance. After a while, the compliment curdled. At Sterling's valuation peak, that slight began to fester. He started pushing her, needing the world to say, "Smart girl, backing a unicorn, not, lucky guy, bagging a princess." Mia appeared right when that ego itch screamed loudest. Each flash of hurt in Serena's eyes gave him a rush. See? Even a golden heiress dances to my tune. Down that road he marched, straight off a cliff. Only later did he realize, cherry blossoms are beautiful no matter who stands beneath them. He hadn't lost to Julian, he'd lost to his own greed. Chase became a ghost haunting their happiness, peeking from the shadows. She gave birth to a girl whose eyes were miniature reflections of hers. They'd once planned 2 children, one for each surname, one boy, one girl. Now that future was vapor. Julian posted glowing photos, childhood sweethearts, fate-sealed love, reruns of kindergarten memories, stories Chase had never starred in. His 7 years with Serena shrank to a footnote, himself reduced to an extra in her life. It wasn't supposed to end like this. Once, they'd been each other's world. No matter how he raged, how he repented, the curtain had fallen. Forever had turned into never. Taylor, sleep eluded him. Thanks for listening to today's story. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? If you enjoyed the video, please double tap and share it with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the thread, and don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales. See you next time.